everyone, today I'll be walking you through the Namecoach web application. Your first step will be navigating to the Namecoach website and logging into your admin portal. Once logged in, you'll be taken to your dashboard view. Since I've already created some name pages, you can see I have those at the top here. If you haven't created any name pages yet, you would see this window here indicating to create a name page. You're going to want to enter a title for your page. We recommend giving it the title of the name of your event, such as award ceremony, for example. You're going to want to enter a date. Typically, I'll enter today's date. You could also enter the date of the event if you'd like to. These two boxes you'll leave as is, and this box down here is actually a duplication feature. So since I've already created some name pages, I can choose to duplicate the settings from one of those previous pages. Again, if you haven't created a name page yet, you wouldn't be able to use this right away. Once I'm ready, I'm going to click Create Name Page, and it'll open it up for me. We always recommend starting over in the Admin tab. As you can see, right now I'm the only admin on this name page, but I can invite other administrators if I'd like to. Next, we're going to go over to our preferences. Within our preferences, you have access to your common fields, custom fields, and some notification settings. These settings at the top you're typically going to want to leave as is. Enabling a read-only name page is useful if you're going to have names read out for recognition purposes. You can share those name recordings with one of the name readers. Enabling the interactive call UI allows people to use the phone call recording function that Namecoach offers. You can add in a welcome message if you'd like to. And these common field preferences down here are what the invite is typically going to include. As you can see here, we have first name, last name, email. All of these have different options. You can make them required for the user to fill out, optional for them to fill out. You can hide it so that the user doesn't see it on their invitation, and you can also make it read only. One of the subjects that we recommend leaving read only is the email. You're typically going to want to make sure that you're using your organization's email and that that's not able to be edited by your users, just to ensure nothing goes wrong on the back end with the recording. As you can see, there's a few other options down here. This is completely customizable to you. You can choose what to include, whether it's required, hidden, etc. By continuing to scroll down, you see the warnings and registration type. And I'd also like to point out that a lot of the functions within the web application have this "What's this" box that will give you more details about what you're looking at. So as you can see, there's a couple different options here. Most of them are pretty straightforward. One that I would like to point out is this box here, which is to disallow new recordings after the event cutoff date. If you're not worried about cutting off recordings, you can leave this box unchecked. However, if you'd like to disallow new recordings at a specific date, you would check this box, and new recordings would no longer be allowed from the date that you entered at the beginning when you created the name page. If you entered today's date, you can always go back and change that, make it a future date of when you want to cut off those new recordings. Always important to know, anytime you make any changes on any page within your name page, you're going to want to make sure to click Save Preferences to ensure those changes are held in place. We also have custom fields, which, as I mentioned, the name page is pretty flexible to gather whatever information you would like to. For example, you could ask what their greatest success story was from the last year, what their biggest win was, do they have any food allergies. Really, any information that you would like to gather for your event, you could add that on as a custom attribute here. Finally, we have this notification setting. As you can see, the invites will come from noreply@namecoach.com. The invites will always come from that address on the back end. However, you can edit this to your domain so that it appears to your users as though it's coming from an internal source. This typically just helps users to be more likely to open the invite and ensure that they're filling out those invitations. You can also customize this box down here. The only part to keep in mind is anytime you see a line with a link in it, you're not going to want to make any changes to that specific line. This link is specifically tied to each individual user, and making any changes could break that connection on the back end. But again, the rest of the email outside of linked lines are able to be customized. Once you have everything customized as you would like to, you're going to navigate to the Request Names / Your Link tab. Within this tab, you see you can invite individuals on an individual basis by sending out one invite at a time, but you also have the ability to send out invitations in a batch. So you're going to want to click here. As you can see on this page, you have the ability to download a sample spreadsheet, and this is why you're always going to want to go to the Admin tab first to make sure everything is already customized as you'd like it to be, so that when you download that sample spreadsheet, it has all of the information that you want on it. Once you have your sheet ready to go, you have a couple options here to either import and notify or import your list and wait to send out the invitations. When you go with our import and notify option, it'll pop open this box for you. You'll choose your file for your spreadsheet. You can change the subject as you prefer. And again, this box down here is customizable with the exception of this line here. Once you have everything all set, you'll click import and send invites, and all of those invitations will automatically go out to your users. I'm going to navigate back to our dashboard. And since this was a new name page that I created, I'm going to go back to one of my pages where I've already sent out invitations to show you what it would look like. Once you've sent out your invitations, your users will fill into these first 3 tabs here. The Recorded Names tab means that that invitation was sent out, the user completely filled out the invite, answered all the questions, and recorded their name pronunciation. In here, you can listen to that name pronunciation, you can send them a request to re-record if it's difficult to understand, you can check how many emails have already been sent to them, and you could delete a user from the list if you needed to. The nice part about this delete entry function is once you've deleted someone, you'll actually get this deleted entries tab, to which if I wanted to bring them back, I will go in here, click restore, and it will put them back onto my list. We do also have a select all function if you wanted to send out reminders in a batch, and there's also a search functionality if you needed to look for a specific user. Unrecorded names means that this user has partially filled out their invitation, but there's some part of that invitation they have not submitted yet. With this user, it looks like John has filled out most of his invitation but has not provided his name pronunciation yet. So again, I can send him a reminder, check his history, delete if needed, and I do also have the search functionality here as well. The last tab we have is Names Requested. The users on this page have not filled out any portion of their invitation yet. Again, same functionalities as those last 2 pages. You can send them reminders, check their email history, and delete a user if needed. Search functionality will be located on all 3 of these first tabs. We do also have this stats box in the top corner that'll give you a brief overview of who's recorded their names, who's partially filled out an invite, and who has not filled it out yet, along with the total users you have invited to this page. The last part I would like to point out is something we chatted about earlier, which is that read-only name page. If you have name readers for your event that you're not wanting to invite as an admin to this name page, you can copy this link and share it with those name readers, where they then can see all of the recorded names and information that's been filled out. Finally, we do also have these export options. Once your list is ready, or even if it's partially ready and you'd like to download it, you can click Export to Excel, and that list will be sent to your admin email. That's the basics of the Namecoach web application. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team.